It's Ash from Super Videos back for another video for Season 11 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some new promotional photos that they released for Season 11, which is the final season. Now, there isn't too many images. There's only like 3 or 4 new images, but one of them in particular is extremely interesting and intriguing, which we're going to take a look at. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content by the end, consider subscribing to join our community. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content by the end, make sure to subscribe to help me get there. Also, if you are enjoying the content, make sure to share and smash the like button, and don't forget to press the bell to be notified when there's an upload on the channel. So with that said, we're gonna go through the least interesting or intriguing images first, and then we're gonna move on to the more interesting ones after that. So first, we have this image of Carol, Kelly, and Magna. They're standing by this tree right here in the middle of the woods. Now, we haven't seen Magna a lot lately, so it's definitely cool to see her back. But other than that, not much more to say about this. The only thing that we can say is that Magna, Kelly, and Carol go on some sort of a supply run or mission. Now, there's a possibility that it's not just the 3 of them, but we'll get to that. And then the next image we're gonna take a look at is actually this pretty interesting image of a couple walkers inside of a train cart or a subway train cart, which is extremely interesting. Now, what makes this very, very interesting is that if we take a look at some of the other images, teasers, and behind the scenes stuff that they've released, we can see there's tons of images of the group in what appears to be an underground subway station. So that's extremely interesting, and it definitely connects to this particular image right here. What's also very interesting is that if you remember, they released an image from season 11 that was of a subway train station or an underground subway train station with a spray painted message on the wall in the background. That could also be related to whatever's going on here. Now, obviously, that particular image that I talked about was a way to tease at the Commonwealth, which is the name of a new community that we're gonna learn about in season 11 for those of you that don't know. So it appears that all of these are connected to that particular subway station teaser that they released. So that's extremely interesting. The next image is actually this image right here of the group that was captured by the Commonwealth. We have Eugene, Yumiko, Ezekiel, and Princess. They're sitting at a table, they're eating. It looks like they are inside some sort of a fenced area. So the Commonwealth have imprisoned them or have put them inside this area for some reason. Maybe this is what they do to all of the people that they bring in before they interrogate them and make sure that they're good people before they take them in. Now, what's also very interesting is that if we take a look at some of the behind the scenes teasers that they released, there's a couple instances where we actually see this fenced or gated area, the same exact ones that we see in the image. So those are obviously from the same exact scene. Now, obviously, in that particular behind the scenes teaser, we have Commonwealth soldiers around, so it's obvious that the Commonwealth are guarding the group that are inside the fenced area. The next image, and the most interesting and intriguing one of them all, is this image right here. So we see the group in an underground tunnel. There's a lot of characters here. We're gonna talk about who these are in a sec, but if you pay attention, it looks like they're actually in some sort of an underground train rail station or an underground subway station. So that definitely also connects to the previous teasers and images that they released. So everything seems to connect. Now, what's also very interesting is that this could also be in the exact same area as what we saw in not only the behind the scenes teaser that they released, which we can actually see on the bottom right, where we have Daryl, Negan, and Maggie, but it could also be the exact same area that we saw in one of the other images that they released, which is the bottom left image. In that image, we actually saw Maggie, Carol, Rosita, and Lydia. So these two images could be from the exact same area. We talked a lot about this when we covered that particular image, but it looks like they're in the middle of a pile of walkers who are all wearing military uniforms, and there's also a chopper or a helicopter in the background, which is extremely interesting, and it leads to the possibility that whatever is going on there could be related to the Reapers storyline that they introduced in the bonus episodes of season 10. Because if you remember, the Reapers definitely had a lot of military connections, or there was a lot of things about them that made them look like they were all ex-military or something along those lines. So that's extremely interesting. Now with all of that out of the way, let's jump to the most intriguing part of it all. Let's take a look at all of the characters that we can see in this image. Going from left to right, we have Alden, we have Elijah, who is the ninja character that was introduced in season 10 episode 16 and also who appeared in the bonus episodes of season 10. He was one of the people that came with Maggie. With him as well was Cole, who we see to the right of him. So both of them are there. Then we can of course see Maggie herself at the forefront, which is very interesting to say the least. And then to the right of Maggie, a little bit behind her, we see Negan. So that's interesting. Negan and Maggie are there together. Obviously they're there for some sort of a mission. Maybe they're there for a supply run. Maybe they're there looking for the group that went missing, namely Eugene, Yumiko, Princess, and Ezekiel. Or maybe they're there because of a storyline that's related to the Reapers. But what's interesting is that it looks like Maggie and Negan are gonna have to work together, at least temporarily. So that's extremely interesting. But what's also extremely interesting is that Alden is there. Alden is an ex-savior. Alden and Maggie had a sort of connection in the past. I don't want to say a relationship because it wasn't, but they had something going on. So that's interesting. And also, obviously we have Negan himself there. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they're going to do anything with the three of them. Alden, Negan, and Maggie. Whether they're going to have a scene between them or whether they're going to do something with them. Obviously Negan and Maggie may butt heads at some point. I'm pretty sure they're going to do something with Alden in that story as well, or I hope they do, because if they don't, it'll be a missed opportunity. To the right of Negan though, we see someone in the far background. He's actually a Hilltop resident. We've seen him a couple times. Every time we see him, he's wearing some sort of an armor and he's on a horse. The actor that plays him is actually good buddies with Michael Cutlitz, who played Abraham, and he's been talked about a couple times by the cast and crew. So he's also there, which is extremely interesting. To the right of that guy though is a new character that I don't recognize. I don't know if he is someone that came with Maggie, or he's one of the residents of Alexandria who we never saw, or possibly someone that they run into. Maybe someone who ran away from the Reapers or something along those lines. So that's extremely interesting. He's not the only character that I don't recognize. There's another one. We'll get to him. But obviously to the right of this first new character, we have Daryl Dixon himself. And then we have Father Gabriel on the far right. But in between Daryl and Father Gabriel is yet another new character that I don't recognize. He actually looks super badass. When I first saw him, I thought maybe he's Mercer, but he's not Mercer. For those of you that don't know, Mercer is the lead commander for the Commonwealth military. We've actually seen a behind the scenes image of him. He's the one that's wearing the all red military gear, one similar to what the Commonwealth soldiers wear, but unlike them, who wear a white and black armor, Mercer wears a red one. And obviously in this image, this guy right here is not wearing that. It looks like Mercer or the actor that plays Mercer, but it's not Mercer. But he looks super badass. I'm definitely intrigued to see who he is and what he's all about. Like I said earlier, the two people could be running away from the Reapers as well, and they could be people that our survivors just run into, but it could be something completely different. But I'm definitely intrigued to see what's going on here, what mission they're on, and what's gonna happen. Obviously, we have a lot of our pretty badass and cool characters here, so it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with all of them. And of course, like I said earlier, if Carol, Magna, Kelly, Lydia, and Rosita are also with the group here. Then we have more of our awesome characters together. So it's going to be interesting to see what all of them do. With all of that said, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to go through in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to share and smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to join our community. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So if you're not a subscriber, make sure to subscribe to help me get there. Last but not least, don't forget to press the bell to be notified when we upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.